Nice to have you guys here. How's it going?
All right, how you doing?
Thanks for coming on.
Yes,
you guys are both being called the up-and-coming, two of the up-and-coming artists in this new hip-hop genre, or the changing, I should say, hip-hop genre. Up-and-coming artists doesn't really fit because both of y'all been around for a while. How do you get stuck with this label? I shouldn't say stuck. Maybe you like the label. But why being labeled as an up-and-coming artist, and you guys have been around for quite a while?
Well, we both, speaking on myself, I never was stood out into the light on my own, basically, you know what I mean? So, that up and coming, I look at that as a privilege to even be called that, you know what I mean? Because I do look at myself as an up and coming artist. It keeps the flame going, and the majority of the times nowadays, you have to look at yourself as a new artist to present that type of product that they did.
Eigtball, you feel the same way, or do you feel insulted that people are just now referring to you as an up-and-coming artist? You've been around for a while in this business.
No, I like Kurupt said, I think it's an honor too, you know what I mean, because it just shows you that people are paying attention, you know what I mean. This is something new for me too, a solo album. I never did a solo album before, so...
It's doing quite well, I might say.
Yeah, so you could say up and coming, that's a pretty good title.
If hip-hop, and I'm not sure it does, but if hip-hop has a sound that can be described, how is the hip-hop sound changing? How is the sound of rap changing these days?
I think it's changing with new and different ideas. That's what's gonna keep it fresh. That's what's gonna keep it new. That's what's gonna keep it hot. That's what's gonna keep it around. You know what I mean? Fresh and new ideas. Young cats like me and Kurupt and Master P and Puffy and on and on. Sick with it. People like that's keeping it new. You know what I mean?
Kurupt, what do you think is the most distinguishing factor between the sound of your music, the sound of this new hip-hop music today, and what we were hearing back in the day with KRS-One and Run DMC and Houdini? Can you describe for me and describe for those watching what you think, at least, is the major difference in the sound today and the sound then? That makes sense?
Yeah, well, it makes perfect sense. It's just like last time when we was talking on the phone. It's like what Andre Harrell said between the Reaganomics rapper and the affirmative action rapper. When back in the days, they was on a whole different vibe. When us nowadays, we're on a whole different vibe. A lot of us have grown up in a whole different light than the past rappers back in the days. So you'll find our music a lot more aggressive and a lot more topic-stricken towards what we face nowadays in society.
Kurupt, let me come to you before we get some phone calls in. A lot of folks holding on the phone lines. Suge Knight has a certain reputation, and we've talked about Suge on this show before, and you were actually released from your death row contract by Suge. For many, that goes against the image. I don't know Suge personally, but it goes against the image, and perhaps the wrong image that many people have of Suge Knight, that he actually released you from your death row contract to go do your own production thing. How did that come to be?
Well, hey, first, I don't see it really going against his image, as far as, quote unquote, as they say, because, Suge is an excellent businessman, you know what I mean, in this field. There's a lot of things said, but he's an excellent businessman, and, I left with Suge's blessing because he knew I had a real deep inspiration for what I wanted to do, which was to get involved into this game and own my own company. And the type of business plan that I had structured, he just allowed me to go and do my thing. So, I was blessed with that right there.
A lot of artists, Eigtball, are depending on sampling these days. Everybody seems to be using it in their records. What are your thoughts on sampling, and do you think that we're going to ever get to a point where the sampling thing gets old and there's something new that is going to have to take its place if people are going to appreciate the music that you guys keep putting out? Was this sampling thing just going to go from now through eternity?
I think that it's going to go from now on, you know what I mean, because sampling is like one of the roots of hip-hop music, you know what I mean, and without that, it would be something different. But at the same time, we use a lot of live instrumentation and a lot of original tracks, you know what I mean, because that's what we do.
I wonder whether or not you agree with Eigtball that this sampling thing is going to go indefinitely. I mean, at some point, doesn't this sampling thing get old and people get burnt out? How much stuff is left to sample?
It would, but you got to understand what sampling is. It's our dedication to the originals. That's why we do sample. You have a good mix like After the Pain by Betty Wright, if I'm mistaken. You know, the music to that is so classic to us. When a person samples something, it's something that's classic to him and his self and what he grew up to. So when he samples it, it's not about, oh, I got to make an original track. It's about the love for that particular song and how he always used to say, man, I'd take that beat and I'd whoop the whoop whoop to it. You dig what I'm saying? So, I mean, when a person samples something, you got to understand it's a certain amount of love he has for that particular tune that he grew up to. A person could have been going through all kinds of struggles when he was listening to that song. You dig what I'm saying? So for him to sample that and to lay vocals over that particular music is a blessing to him himself.
The love that these individuals, these artists have for that old school music, so to speak, the love notwithstanding, how do you respond to critics, those who are listening to a lot of, I've read a lot of critics who made this complaint and made the case that were it not for old school music, y'all wouldn't have anything to do because there's a lack of creativity on the part of people in terms of putting some new, to use Eightball's word, fresh stuff out there. If it weren't for old school, there wouldn't be anything out today.
Of course. Just like after us. If it wasn't for us, there wouldn't be the next rapper generation who's going to come after us. You know, and that's the key to the game. The objective is not to criticize and crush a person for a sample, you know, because just like you said, if it wasn't for that particular sound and that sample, there would be no us. So this is our dedication to it and our love. It ain't just about, oh, well, we just going to take this here. You got to understand, a person had to listen to that. A person had to generate that. A person had to make that and create that. Something inspired them to create that. It was their love for that sound, that particular person, that vibe, and that music. And that's why you hear so many samples nowadays, because all the music, all the music we heard back in the days, man, we love to rap over that music. And when a person samples it, you understand? Excuse me, it makes us feel great to be able, it's a privilege to rap over that particular song and sound. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's take some phone calls. Dexter in Arkansas, thanks for holding you on BET tonight, and I'm glad you called.
Thank you, Brother Travis, for taking my call and for having such an intelligent show.
Thank you.
First of all, I have to respectfully disagree with your guest as far as sampling is concerned, because I believe that the critics are justified in saying that takes away from the originality and the musicality of our form. I am a true hip-hopper from way back with Curtis Blow, Run DMC, and I remember the days when you used to turn on the radio and you hear an MC and you knew who you were listening to. But now the genre has leaned towards the Wu-Tang Clan and everybody who imitates them, or Snoop and everybody who imitates him, or 8Ball and everybody who imitates him.
So Dexter, you're hearing less original stuff.
Right, and that's my complaint with hip-hop. I remember, well, I'll just say it this way, if you're going to sample old school music, eventually, you know, Kurupt was talking about the next generation, what you're going to pass to them. You have a song out called Knick Knack Paddywhack, which is an EPMD song. So what that tells me is, instead of them getting originality from you handed down, you're going to tell them how to just redo somebody else's rap song.
Okay, Dexter, let me give Kurupt a chance to respond.
Well, in all actuality, we was asked to redo an old school song, so that's the wrong judgment. Because we was asked to redo a song, who inspired us, and redo their song. So that's the wrong judgment on that part there. Secondarily, when it comes to a sample, the reason if only people to get mad at over what you hear is yourselves. Because you choose to choose who you like. You choose to make, the fans make us. So when you see somebody on top of the game, the world put them there. You dig what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with the artists. You can't blame the artists for riding on what they believe in, because me and my homeboys, we are original from the gate. But the fans put people in them positions. And then again, you can't get mad at people for who they like.
Hold on, I got a break.